How good is the collapse in immigration? Hey everybody, it's Leith van Onselen here, the unconventional economist, coming at you again with another macro breakdown, where today I wanted to explain why the collapse in immigration is the greatest thing to happen to the Australian labour market for generations. The Australian Bureau of Statistics on Thursday released its latest immigration data for the third quarter of 2021, and it showed that Australia has lost 118,000 migrants over the pandemic. Yes, that's right. Immigration has been negative over the pandemic. Now, this is a sharp turnaround from the circa 230,000 a year in net overseas migration in the lead up to the pandemic. On Thursday, the ABS also released its latest labour market results, and it showed that Australia added 77,400 jobs in February. However, despite this strong jobs growth, Australia's employment growth is still lagging the pre-COVID trend. However, most of the jobs that have been created over the pandemic have actually been full-time jobs, which have risen 4% over the pandemic, as you can see in the chart on the right. Despite the fact that jobs growth has lagged the pre-COVID trend, Australia's unemployment and underemployment rates both fell to the lowest level since 2008, at 4% for unemployment and 6.6% for the underemployment rate. At the same time, Australia's labour force participation rate hit the highest level on record. Similarly, Australia's employment to population ratio also hit its highest level on record. Now, how are these stunning labour market results possible if Australia is creating less jobs than it did pre-pandemic? Well, the answer is simple. It's because immigration's collapsed and Australia has 450,000 less workers than it would have had if immigration had continued at its pre-pandemic level. That's right, in the 5 years leading up to the pandemic, Australia's labour market grew by about 25,000 per month because of high immigration. However, since the pandemic began and immigration turned negative, the labour market has barely grown at all. Because there are 460,000 less migrants in Australia, this means that there are more jobs available for Australians. In fact, Bill Mitchell, who's a professor in economics at the Centre for Full Employment at the University of Newcastle, estimates that Australia's unemployment rate would be 6.4% if immigration had continued at the pre-COVID level. That's shown in the chart on the right. So what are the key takeaways here? Well, the key takeaways are that Australia's closed border has meant that there's 450,000 less migrant workers in Australia, or thereabouts. And because of that, employers have been forced to hire Australians, which has driven the unemployment rate and the underemployment rate both to their lowest levels in 2008. And if the unemployment rate falls below 4% in March, Australia will in fact have the lowest unemployment since the mid-1970s. And for that, you can thank the collapse in immigration. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.